We Follow Jesus. Illustrations by Celeste Gagnon. Written and read by me, Christine Wayskinner. In the beginning, God created human beings to live in peace and joy. Ever since then, God has tried to teach us the very best way to live. God spoke to people in many ways. God appeared in a burning bush. God whispered in a still, small voice. God sent messages through prophets and angels. Often God spoke to people in their hearts, but it was hard for them to understand, and sometimes they did not listen and they turned away from God. Because God loved us so very much, God gave us the greatest gift ever. God sent His Son Jesus to be born on earth. God wanted us to know Jesus because Jesus would teach us how to listen to God, love God, and how to live in peace and joy. Jesus is God. He would show us how to be the very best human beings. If we want to live in peace with one another and be full of joy, all we have to do is follow the example of Jesus. People who follow Jesus are called disciples. To be a good disciple, we need to learn as much as we can about Jesus' life. We can do this in many ways. By reading about him in the Holy Bible, by listening to the stories he told, by talking to him in prayer, by becoming friends with his other disciples and asking for their help along the way. Jesus' mother was named Mary. She was very special because she was the mother of God. Mary was also the first disciple. She showed us the best way to follow Jesus. Since then, many other disciples have loved Jesus and followed him. Many of them are people we call saints. Their lives can teach us how to be good disciples. The church also helps us to live as disciples by teaching us all about Jesus. It is easier to live as disciples when we gather with other disciples. Together, we can show our love and care for the people around us. Even as a young boy, Jesus taught people how to live the way God wants us to live. Jesus told wonderful stories about being kind and generous so we could know how to be kind and generous. He told stories about being sorry and forgiving so we could know how to be sorry and to forgive. Most of all, Jesus taught us by the way he lived. Jesus cared for the poor. As his disciples, we share what we have with others, and we help those who have less than we do. Jesus healed people who were suffering. We take care of people who need our help. Jesus talked to God in prayer. We speak to God when we are grateful, when we need help, or any time. Jesus spoke the truth, even when people did not want to listen. We speak up for what is right. Jesus welcomed everyone, especially people who were left out. We welcome and include people at school and in our community. Jesus forgave his friends when they hurt him. Jesus did something even more amazing. He gave up his life for us. He even forgave his enemies. Because we are disciples of Jesus, we try to forgive others when they hurt us. But most of all, Jesus loved. If we want to be Jesus' disciples, we must also love. Love God and love God's people, even the ones that are hard to love. and love ourselves too. Disciples of Jesus understand that love is the very best way to be a human being.